My name's Stefan Ogilvie and I sell crystals and fossils at the wee Shire Shop stall in the Rivergate Centre. It's been about 5 years now. It's been a great wee journey, so it has. Originally I started in Clydebank in the shopping centre up there. I had my stall open up there for like a few months and then I managed to move the stall to Irvine and that's where we've been ever since. So the Wee Ducks is a fun thing we've started doing to spread awareness. So basically we're hiding wee ducks on the stall and then we give out free crystals or something if they manage to find them. And it's a fun wee thing, and it's basically, it started because I contacted CM Ducks. They supply ducks for cancer awareness. Basically they give you ducks to give out and then you can take them on little journeys to help spread awareness about cancer. I also got a wee personal duck made in purple, that was specifically to represent testicular cancer, which was the type of cancer that I have recently had to battle myself. So that's been really helping me. I took that on some trips to Edinburgh and stuff like that, and I've done posts, which has managed to reach like a massive amount of people, and I plan on doing more posts like that in the future to help spread awareness. But and that's why I went on my recent journey to spread awareness, because I really would like to help anybody I can avoid what I've had to go through. I think it's important because somebody like me is a lot more relatable. I'm literally your average guy. I stand in the street talking to people every day, all day. Like, that's my job. So I think it hits a lot harder at home when somebody you talk to every day is telling you stuff like this. So basically I went for a bath, I found a lump on one of my testicles, and then I went to the doctors. They realised that it was something that wasn't quite normal, so they got me scanned and they realised it was cancer, so I had to go for surgery. Had a testicle removed, but that's alright because I've still got another one. But they thought they'd got it and that was it done. And then a year later I had been re-diagnosed because they realised it had spread to my lymph nodes. So after that I had to go for chemotherapy, which I've recently finished, thank goodness, because it was horrible. I was super scared at first, I'm not going to lie. When the doctor turns around and tells you you've got cancer, it's bloody scary. Doesn't matter how many times he told you, because obviously I got told twice. The second time was just as scary as the first. It was just something you're not really prepared for, you know what I mean? You go to the doctors and you're just expecting them to just go, aye, everything's fine, on you go. But then they hit you with the bad news and you're just dreading it and you're wondering what you're going to do in the future. So there's things like, how am I going to run my stall when I'm off getting chemotherapy for months? And well, I just kind of had to do it, so that's what I did. I ran the stall, but I did have my brother who helped me a lot. He ran the stall while I was in the hospital, receiving my treatment. He's got a heart of gold. There were some days when he was just doing it for free. It was amazing. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to keep the stall open. I never realised how hard just the treatment for cancer was. I mean, a lot of people think chemotherapy is just medicine that makes your hair fall out, but it's a lot more than that. It attacks every single cell in your body. So there's not a bit of you that's untouched by the chemotherapy. It's a grueling process. It's really, really, really hard. But there were a few side effects after my treatment. Fatigue being one of the biggest ones. That was, it just drained my energy. For the first few months I could hardly get out of bed. It was horrible. Then there was the sickness. That was that was the worst part of it, actually. I was being sick multiple times a day after I'd finished like my 4th session of chemotherapy. It made me sick to my bones, literally. It was horrible. But I managed to get over that eventually, and now I'm just left with a little bit of neuropathy, which is a numb feeling in your hands and feet. My hands have recovered considerably, my feet are still quite tingly and numb feeling. Last night I was walking about with half a numb foot because it just went numb all of a sudden. Weird stuff like that happens after chemotherapy, but I'd rather be here, so I don't really mind those wee things. If you can catch it a wee bit earlier than I did, then you don't need to go through things like chemotherapy. It's just a wee surgery and that's it, done. I would like to say, make sure if you're a guy, make sure that you check at least once a month, and if you find anything abnormal down there, get yourself to the doctors, because it's better to be safe than sorry. And if you're a lady watching, make sure you say that to your guys.